I love seeing so many faces and smiles and seeing where everyone is coming to us from. The beauty of Zoom is, nice thing, if you're running late, life happens to all of us. You're running late, log on late for, this or future ones. And if you need to log off early, we know that happens too. It's super understood. So do not apologize. You don't need to give us a warning or feel bad about it. Go ahead and log off. No big deal. We are recording this. So if you miss anything, not a big deal. You can always come back, catch anything you missed. The other nice thing about the recording is that you can just be super present here right now. I mean, take notes as you go along. Kristen's gonna have so much great content for you. But the beautiful thing is that you can go back, rewatch this 100 times on Rise TV, because we're gonna have this posted within the next 24 hours or so. So you can always come back and rewatch things. So Kristen has some really cool interactive opportunities for us. So this is gonna be a great session. So settle in and just enjoy and be present in this session. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kate Wigman. I'm the COO of Rise, coming to you from St. Louis. I'm really excited about this presentation because it is focused on a topic that, especially when it comes to brand management, can be really overwhelming and sort of this, actually a term that Chris and I were just using, like analysis paralysis, and even knowing, like, how do you eat that elephant? Like one bite at a time. It's all about just getting started. Can feel really overwhelming, can feel like I'm too old to do video and be hip and cool and do this, but I promise you, none of us are too old or too unhip, or in the technology. Kristen has all sorts of tips and tricks for you guys. So this is going to be, no matter your industry, no matter your size, no matter your experience, Kristen is going to be able to, literally 1 hour from now, you are going to log off with tangible ideas and tactics and ways so that, like, 24 hours from now, you are going to be able to have a kick butt video that you can start using for yourself. So this is going to be a great presentation, fits right in with our April theme of brand management. And I am so excited for you guys. This is going to be a great presentation. It is my honor to kick things off to our presenter, Kristen Kellogg. Thank you, Kristen.
Thanks. Hi, ladies. If you just logged on, joining you from Mexico. I live in Mexico City, and I'm on a little midweek vacay, checking out a new hotel. So that's where I'm coming to you from. This lovely, if there's an echo in here, I apologize, but good Wi-Fi nonetheless. So excited to be here and excited to share everything I know, well, as much as I can in an hour, about video with you. So before we get started, I'd love if you guys can type in the chat why you're here today, why you showed up for this, and I guess what you do, like a little bit more about your business. Are you working as an entrepreneur in a business? Do you have your own business? Do you want to start your own business? What is it that you were intrigued in terms of wanting to achieve in this session today, and why did you show up? So I'd love if you can type that in there for me. I will start off by just kind of quickly introducing myself and also my business partner. So I'm going to pop into the screen sharing, and you'll have to bear with me for there we go. Oops. My screen. Here we go. Okay, so we are doing today integrating video with impact, and I'm Kristen Kellogg. My business partner is Aida Molenkamp, and we both have a lot of experience doing video. And I come from a side of having always been behind the camera. And one day I had, I do travel and tourism films. I do hotel films. I do for, small businesses as well. And one day I decided it would be a good idea to pitch Rosetta Stone. And you guys are probably familiar with them. They're a language learning application. And I decided that I was going to be on camera and learn Spanish. And this is actually how I ended up in Mexico, funny enough. But I pitched them this idea. And at the time I was like, this would be so fun. And they actually said yes. And I was like, I am terrified. Like, what was I thinking? I could not be on camera. I don't know if I can do this. So it took me a lot of courage to get over that fear. A lot of practice, and being able to be on camera for such a big brand was kind of a big deal. And it was actually a turning point in my career because I ended up being in a lot more content, which you'll see today. And brands eventually asked me to be in their campaigns as well as shoot them. So I had to learn to do everything. It wasn't someone else shooting me. All the content you'll see here today, I created myself, even if I'm on camera. So it's something that you can learn too. And whether you're just wanting to do maybe getting over your fear of being on camera, being on an Instagram live for the first time, or actually wanting to shoot videos that are of products and services or like more lifestyle content, or maybe it's something that you want to integrate more into a business that you have and someone else is going to shoot that for you. You can learn all different styles and ways to impact your audience through video today. So I have a few different companies. My business partner started Salt and Wind Travel. It's a travel company for food lovers, and we run that company and Border Free Media together. So we do run both companies. And then we have a course that we created called Impact Video Marketing, where it teaches small business owners how to implement kind of like a little bit about what we're doing today, but more in depth. And then Mapped Wellness is my more recent baby that I launched through a personal journey of health and wellness. And I've used video marketing in that to market that business. And so you'll learn a little bit about those today through the examples of the video that we've created. So I don't know, Kate, can you tell me how I can see what everyone does without exiting full screen? Is there a possibility to do that or need to exit?
Are you able to see chat down at the chat button? If not, I can read them to you if that would be.
No, yeah, maybe just read to me.
Definitely love everyone to get to know in here. So Beth has her own video production business, loves meeting and hearing from people in the industry and meeting other Rise members. Stephanie is upgrading her personal brand and volunteer efforts with video and having fun. Martha is a presentation consultant that needs to add video to her website and social media platforms. Sarah is a new recruiting firm owner who is interested in leveraging video. Let's see, we've got Sarah, financial advisor, hoping to help women become more financially confident, trying to use video as a way to share financial topics and build her personal brand. Allegra, a few months away from launching a marketing consulting business for nonprofits called Catharsis, developing her brand now and excited to learn some new strategies to incorporate video for herself and for her clients.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. You guys will definitely get a lot out of today's session. And if at any time you have questions, just pop them in the chat and we will make sure we get to those either at the end or if they're relevant for the time being, we'll talk about them now. So I am just trying, let me minimize this here, or I'll move us over here. There we go. Okay, so today you are going to leave with a few different ways that you can integrate video with impact into your business, a clear idea also on how to create a video this week. We talked about that. And so what I want you guys to do right now is I want you to think about what is your MVV? What is your minimum viable video that you can create this week? This is not about perfectionism. It's not about like, let's make the most grand thing in the world. Where can we start this week making video? If you haven't already, and if you have already started with video, what's like one step outside of your comfort zone that you can try something new in? Just like one thing, not something huge and grand. I just want you to get started. The idea is action here today. And the other thing I want you to do is make sure that you actually take action. So I'm going to hold you all accountable. If you can email me at the end, you'll see my email, or tag me in a video that you create this week, we'll share it. But I want you guys, I don't want this to be another Zoom session where you come in and you're like, that was great, and you don't actually do anything. So I want you to take that action because you showed up here, you're using an hour of your time today. I want you to actually create something. So can everyone commit to that? If you can, type it in the chat. I just want you guys to actually take a step, because when you take one small step, it makes it so much easier to take all the steps. Before we get into it, I wanted to just share this quote that I love. Be all in or get all out. There's no halfway. So your mindset is everything. And the next thing I want you guys to do is, if you have a pen and paper, or you can do it on your computer, I want you guys to write down some of the beliefs you might be having about video that might be keeping you from fully going into video or doing it on a regular basis, or even taking the first step. So write down what some of those beliefs are. That maybe video is hard. I'm afraid to be on camera. I can't do this well enough. Like, what are those beliefs that you might be having? And then I want a couple of you guys to share if you're open to that. Just write down anything that's popping up in your head that might be that little person on your shoulder telling you you can't do it. I still have those thoughts sometimes when I do on-camera work as well. It's like, oh, this is scary. Okay, does anyone want to share? Feel free to unmute and just chat out loud. None of you have a limiting belief?
I hate the sound of my own voice.
Okay. And why is that?
I don't know. I guess when you hear yourself on video, you're like, oh my gosh, it sounds so different than what I hear, how I hear myself. So it's like, oh, it took me a very long time to be able to watch videos of myself. I'm
And
still
how do you feel now? You said you've been doing some, yeah?
I've been doing some a little bit, which is way outside of my comfort zone, but I'm trying to get past that of hating seeing myself on camera and hearing my own voice.
Okay. Anyone else would like to share?
This is Sarah. I feel like it has to be like so perfect. So you have that need to do like 50 takes of the same sentence that you're saying.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm the same as Sarah. I want it to be perfect. I want it to look professional. So I'm afraid to just try it on my own because I don't want it to look half-ass.
Well, the good news is that whenever you're doing videos, I think one of the things that we can get stuck on, and I had to record like 80 plus videos for our impact video marketing course, to camera by myself with a camera in my house and wondering if I did well. I find that I have the best takes the first, second, or third time. After that, they're generally, I'm getting sticky. So I like to tell people to try to just get it done on the first or second try. And if not, then move on and maybe you can come back to it later. And over rehearsing is something that is, I think, sometimes to a fault, and you can come into that perfectionism. So one of the things I like to think about as I'm doing video, instead of thinking about ourselves and what we look like and what we sound like, we want to think about our audience and what we're actually delivering to them, because that is the thing that like fully actually changed my mindset about being on camera. And I was like, it's not about me. It's about the deliverability. It's about what the audience is getting out of it. And I'm not so concerned anymore about what my hair looks like or how I sound. It's the message that's transforming the person. So what is that for you and your clients? Thinking about, or the business that you have or the business you're going to start, how are you trying to impact them? What are their problems or pain points, and how are you solving their problems? And when you make it more about them, it takes that pressure off of yourself a little bit more. So that really helped me with mindset. So as you guys move forward, you wrote down some of those limiting beliefs or the beliefs that you have. I want you guys to reframe that, and you can do it on paper now, or you can do it in your mind later. We need to put that into a positive spin, like the opposite of that. Like, I don't like my voice. I love my voice whenever I present because it brings joy to the audience that gets the content from me, and it teaches them something new, then they can be better in their own businesses. And I've helped someone. Whatever that is, change that statement around. When you have that limiting belief, try to tell yourself that, and it really does help. So just think about that as you move forward. Okay, so oops, over here. Okay, and then always serve before selling. I just kind of said that you're thinking about your audience before you're thinking about selling them something, and understanding how you're truly helping people. I think that's why we've been so successful in all of our businesses, with our travel company, with the wellness, always keeping the client in mind of how you can truly help them, not just to sell them the product. So that's always first for us, and hopefully for you as well. Okay, so the next thing I want you guys to ask yourself is, where's your audience actually hanging out? What platform are they on? Where are they on social media? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? Are they on YouTube? Are they only in newsletters? How are you reaching your audience currently? Or how do you feel like you haven't been trying to reach your audience and you could do it more effectively through video? So if you think about video, I'm going to just run quickly through the platforms. You guys are probably very familiar with them, but like YouTube, for example, is better for longer form content. Now they have something called YouTube Shorts, which is a really great way to do like 15 to 30 second videos, similar to kind of Reels or Instagram stories or TikTok, but it's just a different way to reach your audience. And so that's something we've been experimenting a little bit with some of our clients and just seeing how that works. Facebook tends to be a bit of an older demographic, and the content there, one of the keys that you guys want to think about too, when you do video, if you're doing something where you're talking to camera, you either need some sort of a like visual to get people to turn the sound on, or you need captions. So you want to utilize those captions on, say, Facebook or Instagram. They have like something you could do in stories now where you just turn it on. You want to think about that because 80% of videos, people don't turn the sound on. So you need to give them a reason to, or you need to give them captions, because otherwise they're just kind of like scroll past. So you guys probably know that too, because you watch the videos and scroll past sometimes. And then Instagram, you'll find they have all kinds of ways you can use video in Instagram stories, in the IGTV, which I'll show you a little bit later, that. And then we've got Reels, which I think are a really fun way, when utilized properly, to educate and entertain your audience as well. So just keep that in mind as we go through this session. I want you guys to really think about, where is your audience hanging out? So you should be writing that down. And if you don't know where they're hanging out, we have a really great resource that's free. We have a podcast called Working Well, and it's on all the Spotify and all the platforms. It's episode 5, and it's your ideal customer avatar. So if you're not super clear on that person, you can go through and there's an exercise you can do to identify even and get even more clear. So just keep that in mind as we go throughout. And I want you guys to start, as I go through these types of videos, I want you to start to, if anything pops up in your mind, you see something like, oh, that might be great for my business, write it down. Because we're going to do a breakout session. I want you guys to pitch your people in your breakout session, your ideas for your video, and you're going to kind of formulate one to work on this week. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about in terms of impacting your audience is branded video series. So you might see on a website of a company where people have their brand story. And whereas before, I think one brand story worked and you could have a video and it told you about the company. I feel like content's so consumable now. People want more and more. So what we've been doing for our clients specifically is doing more series type brand stories. So we've been doing, like, you'll see one in just a minute that we did for a company called Lucini Italia, where we took their brand story and divided it into 5 pieces. So it was almost like Netflix style binging of a season. And they're just like 2-minute videos. So you can do something like that, brand awareness for features, and then also just to establish credibility. This is also another reason you would do a branded video series. So I'm going to show you guys a video here. Whoops, I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. And then it may lag a little bit, but you'll be able to hear the audio through. The idea is just to see kind of visually. So this is a series I shot for Hotel Tonight with my business partner. Again, I shot everything. You'll see both her and I on the camera. And this is, I don't know, we did like 30 something videos with Hotel Tonight. And this was just one part of their series showing people in order to self-identify. So the audience member is like, oh, that's like, I'm that kind of traveler. I want to book this type of a category or this hotel type. So this was just one of the videos that we did, and I'll play it for you now.
Like finding the perfect travel partner, booking the perfect accommodation can be tricky. We use Hotel Tonight. They're a hotel matchmaker when we take a trip. Road trips are all about being on the go. When we road trip, we stay solid. Looking solid means we'll have everything we need and want after a long day of exploring. All the modern comforts you expect in a dependable, reliable hotel, filled with quality amenities. Maybe even breakfast, a pool, or a mini bar. They all add up to a great night's sleep, leaving you refreshed and ready to rock your road trip. Book your own solid stay.
Okay, so that's an example of how we took the brand. Within the app, they have these 4 or 5 different booking categories. And one is solid, one is luxe, one is hip, and one is basic. And we did kind of a different hotel type. We did like the traveler personality with the type of hotel. And so hopefully then the traveler sees this and they're like, oh, cool. Yeah, I should look in the hip category, or I should look in the solid category. I'm just going to be like laying my head somewhere and I want a pool, or I want something a little more plush because I'm going to spend more time in my room. It kind of helped with that. So you can think about, in terms of lifestyle content, how might something like this be able to be done within your business if this is something that you feel like you guys would use lifestyle content for. I'm going to go next to the, I think it's Lucini. Yeah. Oh no, actually I'm going to skip past this one because it's just another Hotel Tonight one. I can send you guys the links to these if you want. So I'm going to go next to, this is Lucini, a brand. It's an olive oil that's made in Italy, but sold in the US. They have Italian producers, and this is one of the 5 things that thread their brand story together on their website. And after, I'll show you how they used it on their website. So I'll probably just show you like a little bit of it. I want to make sure we have enough time for everything. So show you a little bit of it. So you'll see the intro is about 15 seconds, and then it goes into the little video.
Some of the most sought after Italian wines come from this corner of Tuscany, and it also produces super premium olive oil like Lucini Italia. The Italians believe you should have il pane di un giorno, l'olio di un mese, il vino di un anno. Just like with wine, olive oil has terroir. You can taste its origin.
Bolgheri is an ancient village. The Lucini founders fell in love with this place, and they started here, the Lucini production. Lucini in Italian means little lights, and we believe that in every Lucini bottle there is a little light from Tuscany.
To understand the passion and skill that goes into crafting premium quality extra virgin olive oil, we'll journey behind the bottle to see the places and people who make Lucini. Each drop represents the heart of the Italian way of life.
I lied, I played the whole thing. I forgot I thought it was longer, but it's only a minute and a half. So this one, the reason that we did this series for them was they wanted to explain their brand story, but their consumer, really their ideal customer avatar, she really wants to know where the product comes from, who's behind it. She cares about the connection to the place, to the land, the families, all of that stuff. And so it was really important for us to convey that story. You can also see that we use subtitles in this one. In the Hotel Tonight one, we have it as well, but it didn't have it for the specific download that I used. But you can see kind of like telling the lifestyle of the brand as well. And then here on their website, this is just a screen recording of how they used it on their website. So you'll see they have the main one, the intro, and then number 2 is the family, the Lucini family, and then they have the harvest. And so this is how they've laid it out on their website to tell the story through video. It was loading a little bit slow when I did the screen recording. So, so you see, this is how it may be used on your website. So if you're thinking about a way to thread a brand story through your story with words, or maybe you have a story and you want to dive into doing a video for it, this is a great way to utilize it and really visually bring your story to life for your consumer. And it makes a much faster connection to your brand. Video connects so much faster than the written word. And we also think of it as a passive media because you know how busy we all are. You guys know this. You're all busy. And basically, like when someone's watching a video, they don't have to sit there and read. And so it's a little bit easier for people to do as well. Anyone have any questions so far? No, we're good. Okay. I can't see the chat, so let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to interrupt. Okay, so second type of video you can do is a lead generator video. You can do this while launching a new product or service, or you can just have a general lead generator video for your newsletter opt-in or some sort of thing that you want to trade an email for or get people on your list. I'm going to show you guys here. So we did this really fun trip that we are doing this fall for Dia de Muertos, which is a special holiday here in Mexico. So Salt and Wind Travel, we're a travel company for food lovers. We plan trips for people and we occasionally do group trips. So this is a group trip we sold. We did a specific video series before the launch of it. We only had 14 spaces available for the trip. And we did this video series in order to gain trust and show people what they were going to experience on the trip. And we opened the cart and we sold it out and we generated $42,000 in revenue in 2 hours. And so we were like, this is clearly working. We did it with a few other things as well. And so this is a really great way if you're launching a new service, if you're launching a new product, to actually convert sales and do it in a way that's not salesy, it's fun. And to really give people the trust behind the trip. So what we did in this is basically in number one, we had teased our audience. We were like, hey, we might do this trip. Are you interested? They put their name on a list. We had a list of like 75 people. And we were like, okay, that's enough to like, you know, if it's a conversion rate of around 10%, we should be, you know, 10 to 20%, we should be able to sell this trip out. Second video was basically like our kind of like what we do in our philosophy in our business, so that that person can identify like, oh, okay, cool. I would like to go on a trip like this. This would be something that I would enjoy. Third video was who's the Saltman traveler, self-identifying. Like we have the food nerd, we have the history, we have the design forward thinking person, we have the soft adventurer. So we had that self-identifier piece in there as well. The fifth video shows you like a peek inside. What would this trip look like? What do people do during Dia de Muertos? Why makes it special? Why would you want to go to this specific town versus somewhere else? And then the fourth, I actually did them out of order. Sorry. The fourth one was food. My bad. And that is because we are food first travel. And so we wanted to show our expertise in food. Aida, my business partner, is a fully trained chef. I forgot to mention that earlier. She's a fully trained chef. She had shows on the Food Network. She's like a Bible of knowledge. If you have a question about anything food related, I just like turn to her and I'm like, can you please tell me this? And she just knows everything. So we wanted to really show our food expertise and that we knew what we were talking about. And then number 6, the video was just like, hello, the trip is live, please join us. And that's where we were able to sell so quickly. And it was amazing because we did the pre-work in order to move over the hurdles of things that people might be thinking, I don't know, maybe it's expensive. Well, here's all the value in it. I don't know if I think this type of a trip would work for me because I don't know if I'm a food first traveler, but oh, I like these other things. They do those too. Okay, great. So this just really approached all those things in a fun way of trying to like anything that was in their mind, like, I don't know, maybe, okay, no, that's clearly addressed here. So then when it was time to buy, they were like, okay, I'm ready to buy. You know, there was a wait list after. So you can think about this as in terms of like lead generation, when you're moving into like, say you wanted to just make one video and you want to give something to your audience member to collect their email, what is the thing that person needs, or what do they think they need? I always like to ask this first. What do they think they need? And then what do they really need? And so what they think they need is what you need to like dangle the carrot for. And then inside that thing, you need to say like, and this is also what you need. And they're like, oh, I didn't even know I needed that. So that's something to think about including in a video like that. You can do a series, you can do one video. They don't have to be polished like this. We had another client who worked with us on consulting, and we did a lead generator series she's an intuitive and she works with crystals. And so she did this series right around election time. She was like, everyone's stressed out, like all this stuff, you know, is happening in the world. I just want everyone to calm down. So she did this opt-in series. I think it was like a 7-day series. She did a couple of Instagram videos to draw people over, just live. And she ended up generating like 150 new leads. So, and she's a small business of 250 Instagram followers. So it doesn't matter your audience amount or how many people, it's really the type of content and how it hits home for that person or that audience member. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then the third type of video is trust gaining, which kind of all three of these are woven together. And they're gonna, you know, like series type video, trust gaining, all of it can be woven together. So the example I wanted to give you here is when I started my new business, Mapped Wellness. Basically what I did is I created this Instagram series because I felt like I was still in school. I'm still in school now for functional medicine, but I'm a health coach as well. And I was like, I'm just so curious. I want to really build a community. I don't want this to just be a me brand. I want it to be other people and other practitioners. And so I also want to build trust in the community they have. They know me for travel and they know me for food and adventure and filmmaking. They don't know me for health and wellness. And so I just started inviting guest experts in different fields that I was curious more about that could potentially be part of that mapped wellness community. So I created this series, and it was just honestly really fun for me to show up. And we did it like once a week, once every other week during the pandemic. And I called it Your Whole Life Wellness in the Time of a Pandemic. And so I would have a different guest expert each week. And so what this did is it introduced not only like me as a wellness person that was going through stuff on my own. I have an autoimmune disease that I was working to reverse and all these other things that I had learned and implemented myself, but then I had these other experts that were bringing things to the table as well. So not only did they bring things to the table for my audience, they brought another audience over, because when you go live on Instagram, you're getting the notification on the other person's channel as well. So I got a few followers from that, more people joined. I ended up selling out my group program my first one that I did. I didn't even want to start this business, but people were asking me to do it. And so I started this business, and it was really fun. So that's a really great way that you can show up on a regular basis. And this is something you guys want to think about, is how are you going to show up for your audience on a regular basis, and not just do one video and then not do one for like 3 months and then do another one and then not be consistent about it. So think about that in the MVV, the minimum viable video that you create. If you're, this week doing one, what is one video a week that you could do? What's 4 videos a month that you could do and it doesn't feel overwhelming to you? Is it just going live on Instagram and talking about your area of expertise and being better at that and serving your audience that way? Is it producing, starting to shoot with your iPhone and creating like little reels, which are really fun and really popular right now on Instagram? And it's a really great way to get seen when doing that in the correct way. One of the things, does anyone use Instagram Reels? Yes. Hand raise. Anyone using Instagram, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So Reels, I'm going to just quickly go over that because I feel like it's so relevant to right now. And I think that we did one the other day with a contest giveaway. So I think 2 things, making sure they're educational and also fun, because that's the whole idea, is introducing people to things that are fun, if that works for your brand. Of course, if you're a very serious brand, you don't want to just try doing something silly. It doesn't work. That's the other thing to think about, is always be yourself, be authentic. If I were a serious presenter, it just wouldn't work for me. I can't do it. I'm a fun, energetic, enthusiastic, hey, you're my friend, let's hang out kind of person. And if I tried to present to you in a way that was very serious, it just wouldn't feel authentic. So you always want to make sure you feel like you're using your voice in the best way that you can to be yourself. But going through in Reels, if you find one of the trending songs, you can actually, if you guys take out your phone right now, if you're using Instagram, I want you guys to go into, let's see here. Okay, if you tap on where you go to see the Reels at the bottom, in the middle here, there's a little button for Reels. And you go through these, you can find other people's Reels, the songs. If you like them, you can tap on the song and it will ask you if you want to save it to your library. So you can do that. You can also find trending songs that are in there. And that's a really good way if you want to use a song that might catch on. You see so many people using the same songs, but doing it in your own way. That's another good way to get more views with your content there. So just 2 really quick tips. Okay, so I will move on. So this was the whole series I did. I did all these different topics. It was really fun. I learned a lot. Okay, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go into, I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to go into a breakout room. Do you guys have any questions before we go in there? Let's see. Yes, that's great advice. Okay. Okay. Does anyone have a question before we go into the breakout room?
I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is it better on Instagram to post a video to IGTV, or is it better to do a live video
So I would say, do you feel like when you do, what's your messaging in your video going to be for that? if it's something that you feel like would benefit it from it being interactive initially, and if someone asked questions that were relevant to the topic, then yes, do it live. Because I think the reason I do stuff live is because I like, even if like 4 people show up to my live, that's 4 people I've actually like had a human interaction with that day. And that's something that is special because we can't connect in real life. That has been the most fun thing for me through the pandemic, is having those live moments. But if it's a short message that you want to get out, then you can always record it and then post it on IGTV. In terms of messaging, like short meaning like not, hours long, but more than a minute. But I really truly think like, if you feel like it's something that you want to interact with the audience, then do it live. And then you can always, if you haven't gone live with a guest and you've just gone live by yourself, you can save it to your phone and you can crop it if you wanted to. Because how it's kind of awkward when you turn on Instagram Live and you're trying to make sure that you can put your caption, or, that anyone's joined, and there's that awkward silence at the beginning. I try to like avoid that when possible when I have a guest on there, so that there's not like 2 minutes of nothing and then you start your conversation. But if you're doing it with a guest, you cannot download it. There might be an exterior app, but it just has to be posted live or it goes away. So if you want to do it alone, and then you could download it and cut, whatever you want out as well to shorten it so that it's not like wasted space. And then the other thing that you guys can do is look at your analytics. You can do this on all your platforms. They all have analytics to be able to look and see what people are actually latching onto. So once you start to come up with a real strategy of things you want to try, test and repeat, iterate, it's just a lot of test and repeat and figuring what is working for your audience. And you can truly also just ask them, what do you guys want to see more of? It's that simple. So yeah, hopefully that helped answer your question.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go into breakout rooms. What I want you guys to do is, you should have been taking notes and like writing down ideas of what is the MVV that you guys can do. What's the minimum viable video that you can do this week? And how can you impact your audience this week? I want you to go into your breakout room. Kate is going to break us out into rooms, and I want you to take 3 minutes or so each. I think there's going to be 3 people in a room, so you guys will be like around 10 minutes. I want you to pitch your idea to the other 2 people, and then I want you guys to give each other feedback and work out that idea. So you have I'd say like 30 seconds pitch, and then 2.5 minutes to work out the idea together, and then switch partners. So every 3 minutes you're going to switch, and then we'll come back together and have you guys share some of your ideas and see what you guys are going to do this week.
Okay. And then did you say 10 minutes? Or
Yeah, I think 10 minutes total. So we have like a minute buffer we need.
Perfect. All right, guys. Have fun. I can't wait to hear what you come back with.
Yay. So where's the video clips are currently on another account? Is that what you're saying?
So they're on my iPhone, and
Okay.
I'd love to send it to the school's Instagram account, but the kind lady who runs their account isn't as savvy. So I was hoping to send it as just one clip that they could post.
Okay. So you need to send her a file that she can put on her phone and upload?
I would guess, if that's what you recommend. I just hadn't come up with anyone who's encountered that per se, because a lot of people who are content creators have access to all of their accounts.
Right. So you don't have access. So basically what you can use is something like WeTransfer, where you can upload that file and then she can download it to her phone directly. Dropbox also works, and they have a free 2 GB account. So both of those should work in terms of sending the file. And it shouldn't be so hard for her to download it on the phone. I don't know how tech savvy she is, but I think you can't send it. I don't know if you can send it within Instagram and download it. That's a really good question. Why don't you just send me a quick email?
I will.
Here, I'll type my email and I'll figure that out for you.
My next question, when you showed the series with the olive oil companies and you broke up a single idea into 5 videos, about how long did you make those videos when you spread a single topic across multiple videos? How long for each video?
So it really depends on what you're talking about and what you're doing. If it's a lifestyle piece, like what we generally stick to for marketing videos for branded lifestyle content, generally between 60 seconds and 3 minutes most. I feel like that's where the attention span drops off. Really, it's better if you have like 1 to 2 minute videos, but it really depends on your subject matter and what your audience is trying to learn from you. So yeah, that's a general rule of thumb. So, all right. Well, ladies, I think we're out of time here. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen one more time and just open this up again. Sorry, my desktop's a giant mess today. So I just wanted to let you guys know, we already talked about your homework, what you're gonna do, create your videos. I think when Kate or whoever shares the link within Rise, if you guys can share your links below that, or you can tag me at Border Free Media, at Kristen Kellogg on Instagram. You can email me as well. But I want you guys to commit to doing this. And then the other thing I wanted to give you is I know a lot of you talked about getting comfortable on camera. And so in the course that I have, we have a little bonus. It's like 7 minutes or so of me talking about getting comfortable on camera, things you can do. So I think, Kate, can you share that link to give it to you earlier with the password? And then we'll also share it in there if you guys missed it in the post wrap up as well. But you guys can use that today if you're going to be on camera and you're feeling uncomfortable or you're still like, I don't know, you can use this video to guide you through that as well. Just a few other things that we have for Border Free Media. We have the podcast, like I mentioned, it's all of the places. So it's just called Working Well, one word. And there are 17 episodes and some of them are business basics. Some of them are your unique value proposition, your ideal customer avatar. There's one on video marketing. There's one on mindset, all these great different guests. And then my business partner and I do some of them together. We also have a private Facebook group. If you guys want to request to join that, it's just called Working Well with Border Free Media. And we do every other week live office hours. So you can go in and ask any question you want about being a small business owner and we will answer it in our live. And then borderfreemedia.com, we have some resources as well on the section called resources. So I can't wait to see all the things you guys are going to do and all the videos you're going to create this week. If you need to get in touch or if you had something that you asked me about today, or if you still have another question, feel free to email me. It's just Kristen@borderfreemedia.com. And I hope you guys all got something out of today's session. I hope that you guys are excited or a little more excited about video, and I can't wait to see what you make.
Yes, I agree. I can't wait to see all the great ideas and videos and everything that come out of this. Kristen, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who joined us today. I thought this was awesome, and I hope everyone, beautiful weather to get outside, do some outdoor videos and stuff too, now that it's spring. I love all the creative ideas. Thanks everyone for sharing. Thanks for joining, and we'll look forward to seeing your videos posted on Rise TV and on Instagram and hear the impact that they have. And yes, by all means, connect with Kristen. She is, as you've seen, a wealth of knowledge and is collaborative and loves to share. So thanks everyone. I look forward to seeing you on another Rise session or hopefully in person at Rise again soon. Bye everyone.
Have a great day, ladies. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Kristen. Bye-bye.
Bye.